That place we were sent to, the land of the dead, it strikes me as odd that it was submerged underwater. And did you see those columns of ice, the ones descending from the surface all the way to the floor? Afterwards, I realized what they reminded me of. The columns were reminiscent of a phenomenon known as brinicles. When seawater freezes and turns to ice, salt concentrates are released into the surrounding water. This brine is heavier than the water around it due to its higher density. It therefore sinks deeper into the ocean. As it flows towards the ocean floor, its lower temperature results in the formation of ice. And as this process continues, it can produce column-like ice structures. Any living creatures unfortunate enough to become entangled in these can be frozen solid. Little wonder they're called icicles of death.
His name is Neil. Neil Vanna.
Neil Vanna? Oh, here I thought he said Nirvana. There must still be tar in my ears.
It seems that the ID card you brought back belonged to the man himself. Charlie helped me dig up the details.
The card was issued by Bridges years ago, when the chiral network was still being developed. Records confirm that Vanna has been dead for some time.
So he was a member of Bridges?
No, it doesn't look like he was.
Vanna was a porter contracted by Bridges to handle jobs with special requirements. Like all of you, he was a doom sufferer who leveraged his abilities.
A top-notch porter by all accounts. He worked the Mexican border. Brought over all kinds of useful stuff.
Ostensibly, resources and medical supplies. But in truth, he transported drugs and other prohibited goods.
So he was a smuggler.
Vanna's ID card served as a key to some of Bridges' secure installations, though only a select few, of course. Specifically, those dedicated to the BB experiments, along with various other medical facilities.
I believe that the place you went to for counseling was one of them.
But everything in that area was obliterated 11 years ago by a void out, one in which Neil Vanna died. And from which you alone, Sam, were fortunate enough to emerge alive. Prior to all that, your counseling sessions made you a regular visitor, yes? Well, records indicate Vanna frequented the same facility. There's a fair chance that the two of you might have met before. Do you recall seeing him?
It's hardly surprising. A great number of people pass through there all the damn time. No one would remember them all.
While you attend to that, we'll continue our investigation into Neil Vanna.
Neil Vana. A porter employed by Bridges. A man not unlike yourself, it would seem. But why did he appear in that so-called Nirvana? Or rather, that realm of the dead? And then there's the fact that he clearly spoke Lu's name. If we have another opportunity to visit that mysterious realm, then perhaps we can get some answers. The times we've encountered Neil Vana, the first was amidst flames, and the second was in what seemed to be flood-ravaged ruins. Now, I believe that you were previously transported to a realm not unlike a battlefield. The places we found ourselves in are similar in that they were the sites of disasters. This is just a theory, but it could be the case that what we've seen is a reflection of Neil's mental state. He may have been a first-hand witness to a terrible tragedy which left a lasting mark on him. By the way, Sam, you saw Tomorrow with the apples in the corridor, right? It seems she was training, trying to gain more control over her temporal abilities, taking green unripened apples and attempting to age them until they're red and ready to eat. But she's still having trouble getting it just right. She's taking it too far and making them rotten. There's no need to rush. She'll get the hang of this soon enough. Meantime, let's continue to support her.
From this location, you should be able to see some snow-capped mountains, Sam. Your next objective can be found in the heart of them, in the form of the Eastern Environmental Observatory. Once again, you'll need to link up several sites en route to this destination. The first such site to be brought online is the Chronobiologist Shelter, which is due west. Pick up the main order on this delivery terminal in order to begin.
accepted. Thank you.
That one. You're mine. Gotcha. Look that one. Further now.
Good day, Sam. You're operating in the space. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures lifted. Weapons detected. Be advised that you...
Good to see a friendly face. It's been a while.
could have hoped for. How did you even manage to keep it in such good condition? How did you manage to handle so many orders at once? I should have no trouble All right. Use your Cupid to connect my shelter. Now displaying your current order grade. I'm finally part of the chiral network. I've been looking forward to this moment. I should be able to conduct research at a faster pace than ever. Please accept this by way of thanks. I picked up this accessory in the UCA. You should try attaching it to your backpack. Who knows? It might bring you good luck. Oh, and in case you're curious, the cargo you brought me contained a stock of cryptobiote variants. I've taken to calling them chronobiotes. They appear to alter your body's internal clock for a brief period when consumed. Just another example of the many ways the Death Stranding is wreaking havoc on our perception of time. It's introduced us to Timefall and the beach, as well as the EEs that brought about previous mass extinctions. You know, I can't help but wonder if extinction entities are related to chronobiotes. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Especially with the strange incidents we've been hearing about lately. Well, the porter who used to come through here was attacked by something. It was bad enough that they gave up doing delivery work for good. They still managed to deliver my last shipment, but it was covered with strange dents and markings. When I asked what had happened, they just said it was the work of the Headless Rider. People have been talking about the Rider for a while, actually. And there's this guy not far from here who's dedicated to studying strange mysteries like that. I sent him some details, and he said he'd need to ask around for someone to lend him a hand. You should keep your eyes peeled for trouble until he figures out what we're dealing with. So I've heard a little bit about Hartman's research via the hydrologist. You know, the mass extinctions of trilobites, ammonites, and the dinosaurs. Well, apparently, all these ancient events were set in motion by extinction entities. I'm told there was a human extinction entity as well. And that EEs had umbilical cords linking them to the beach, which could be why their fossilized remains were somehow unaffected by the passage of time. The parasitic chiral microbes that latch onto chronobiotes also originally came from the beach. So, you could even think of them as another form of umbilical tether linking their hosts to the other side. It's a pattern that shows we can't discount the possibility that a new EE might yet be born. And the reason why I believe further study of these microbes could help prevent another extinction event. Now that I have a chiral network connection, this sort of research should finally be possible. They're cryptobiotes that have become infected with chiral microbes, parasites that induce changes in the host. Chronobiotes can accelerate various processes within the human body. Simply put, eating one should make everything around you appear to move more slowly. Much like Timefall, which ages everything. And the beach, where time stands still. This disruption of the natural temporal flow is linked to the underlying mechanisms of the Death Stranding. Continued study of chronobiotes should therefore help us to solve the greatest mystery of our times. At least, that's what I've come to believe. I hope this isn't the last time we meet. With no one else around to make deliveries, I was beginning to think I'd have to call it quits. Oh, by the way, a suborder just got posted about those strange incidents I mentioned. You can check it on the delivery terminal here. It's probably in your interest to find out more anyway, given how much time you spend outside. And, who knows, you might even be able to convince them to join the chiral network, too. I just hope we can get to the bottom of things sooner rather than later. Thanks again, and take care.
Well done, Sam. By the way, we have info on Nilvana to share. Could you join me on the bridge?
Until next time. Weapons restrictions. Take care, Sam.
Sam, that is a veritable herd of chiral creatures. Far more than we're equipped to handle. We should hurry and get away while we still can.
Okay.
access detected. Be advised that usage is restricted inside facility grounds.
Counting on you.
Construction process now complete.
Is your cargo all right? Sure you've not been mistreating it?
Almost there.
Good evening, Sam. Drawbridge credentials verified. Welcome, Sam.
Security measures weapons detected. Be advised that
Oh, hi. Operate. Have to say, this looks bad. Though, should still be... Huh. Didn't expect you to bring me this, but I'm glad you did.
now displaying your current order grade.
So, now I know this isn't your fault, but this kind of looks as though it was battered with a large heavy pop. Not to mention the unusual top. Putting all the pieces together, in all honesty though, sheer damage is yeah, they won't come out and wreak havoc, it's just... There's gotta be a reason. Mind helping me figure out what that reason is? Once we know more about them, I can use that. Indulge my curiosity, and I'd be... If you're keen to do so, I've included the relevant information in the order detail.
Order completed. Well done. Order accepted. Thank you.
Okay, Sam. Why don't we begin by considering what we already know? If nothing comes to mind, take a look at the order details to refresh your memory.
Disengaging weapons restrictions.
Take care, Sam.
Now entering chiral network coverage.
headless rider attacks were reported in this area. Look around. See anything strange? Sam, about the headless riders we're after. I've been thinking, what if we were to try replicating the conditions of the previously reported attacks? A road at night, a tri-cruiser... I've got it. We should take an evening spin near the site the attacks took place.
Feels good.
What's happened to it? Don't tell me it's been hacked. Whoa! Since when do highways float in the air? Up, up, and away! Highway in the sky. And now we find ourselves trapped. You ready for anything, Sam?
Welcome, Sam. I prepared... This little stage here is special for you and you alone. And I know you're gonna make the most of it.
Kids! These must be ghost mechs? I suppose there were no headless riders after all then. We need to destroy them all. Let's get the move on, Sam. Sam, try ramming their vehicle with yours. You do it, Sam. Nice one. You're a pro. You see it, Sam? One of them is different from the others. That has to be the unit that's hacked into the auto paper. care of every last one.
Highway disappearing? This isn't good, Sam. Whoa! Ah!
Seems the day is ours, Sam. Oh, what a relief to have made it safely back to the ground. There's no sign of our adversary. That strange road has vanished without a trace, too. Everything seems fine now. Let's go and give the ghost hunter the good news.
Well. Handled that job for me, huh? I can tell you gave it your all in that fight. Well, how about that? A surprise delivery. I feel as though I can really... So you know, I've decided to increase...
explain your current porter grade.
Thanks to you, we can finally close the book on the mystery of the Headless Riders. Troubling rumors like that have a way of putting everyone on edge. Makes them want to stay inside all the more. Out here especially. Saw too many people cutting ties and keeping to themselves. Can't say any of us anticipated that the Riders would be ghost mechs, though. And those mechs have something to do with Higgs, too. Isn't that right? Well, now that we know the truth of the matter, we can come up with ways to combat them and their tactics. Then, maybe it'll feel like we're actually making some progress at long last. You know, you've got the makings of a real ghost hunter. I've shared with you some schematics for my favorite tools of the trade. A rocket box and a camo suit pattern. The rocket box fires MP warheads. It's a portable, versatile... I'd heard a few stories about that Higgs might be the one lead. He's the same bastard that's been distributing weapons, trying to get everyone that forming lasting connections is out of the question. The spread of weapons and violence is a lot more terrifying. It's a single use. It fires several projectiles. Though, if you want to pummel a single enemy, it's great for incapacitating. It's quick and easy to use. Ever since the Death Stranding, a lot of these can be chalked up among all these clients. And there's a ghost, unfortunately, so I have to rely on it. You've done some wonderful work. I intend to. There are a few things. Maybe they're nothing more than baseless rumors. I hope I can count on. Good luck with you.
Your service in transporting this cargo is appreciated. The delivery will be assigned to another porter.
We managed to learn a few more things about Neil Vanna. You may remember that he was a porter contracted by Bridges. That's what we told you before. Since then, I received a mail.
Another one from our very own Hartman, I'm guessing. Look, we sure we can trust them? Whoever they are?
They are almost certainly someone on the inside. Someone with access to the UCA's administrative systems. It seems Neil Vanna was attending therapy sessions.
But the real revelation is who Vanna's therapist was. Charlie, can you please explain?
A specialist who worked with other doomed sufferers, including one Sam Bridges. She was your therapist and your partner.
Lucy?
Neil Vanna's name was on our client list. Right there in black and white.
That's crazy.
We also uncovered a photo you should see.
Per the records, they perished in a void out which claimed an entire city. A void out only you survived, Sam.
Lucy was pregnant at the time.
It wasn't mine. The child she was carrying. She straight up told me to my face. I never had any kids. She was just my shrink, helping me to work through my often phobia. That's all she ever was to me.
Thank you, Sam.
It's no trouble at all.